Coming to you from Farmer Dave's Kitchen here in Drake, Massachusetts, I'm Stacey.
I'm Denise.
And we're here to help you prepare your share. In this VEGISODE, we have 2 quick and easy recipes for celeriac utilizing the roasting technique. First is roasted celeriac, onions, and apples.
Delicious.
Talk about yummy. Preheat the oven to 425 degrees and line a sheet tray with parchment or foil. Now, if you haven't tried parchment for roasting vegetables yet, please give it a try. I've never used it before. There is no sticking at all, especially with potatoes or something that may get a little sticky. We're both converts now, I think, when it comes to the roasting thing.
Two thumbs up on the parchment.
So now we're going to show cutting.
Cutting the celeriac. Okay, so we're going to peel and cut into cubes, but starting, we are taking the top and the bottom off so that you're able to stabilize this, so that it's
going anywhere.
Right, so it's safe to cut. Keep your fingers away from the blade and just work your way down around the celeriac. Excellent technique. You'd think she'd done this before.
Just a few times.
We're then going to cube this, like I said, in 1 to 2 inch cubes. And then we're going to also do some onion.
All right,
She's actually already done the onion.
I am going to cut it into planks first. That's a plank. I think I can do one more.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hold it on either side and cut right in the middle.
There you go.
And then once I get it in, I can take my fingers out and do that.
Right.
That way the fingers never go underneath the blade.
So a good ratio for this is going to be 2 to 1. So depending on how much volume you're planning on cooking, 2 cups of celeriac to 1 cup of onion.
So here are your cubes.
Excellent.
And these will be added
Yep, we've already started some.
to the bowl. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
And then we also have the celeriac here
A little bit of apple.
with the apple.
Okay.
And then some onion.
Onion. And then we're going to toss with a little bit of vegetable oil. Oh, excuse me, actually extra virgin olive oil.
That's good.
Gonna save a little bit of that.
You could use vegetable oil if you wanted to. You're roasting it, so the flavor isn't going to matter as much.
Okay.
So if that's the oil that you had, you could also use coconut oil.
Oh, that's true.
So
All right.
anything like that.
So we just want to get this coated. I'm going to do a little bit of salt and pepper.
There we go.
Just a little bit.
Now we're going to get fancy. Let's see if I can do this.
Get fancy, Stacey. Get fancy. All right. So we're getting this coated beautifully, might I add.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to do...
Would you pour for me, please?
I would love to. Now we have left half of the apple. I'm going to cut a little bit more, but I have left part of the apple aside. Reason being, we're going to get this cooked, and this is sort of going to do its thing, these apples with the celeriac and the onion, and really just kind of get chill in the oven.
I'm thinking like 20 minutes. Check it.
I think that's beautiful. So then what we're going to do, we're leaving this portion of the apple aside so that we're able to have it still be crunchy and have that little bit of that sweet tanginess that the apple has. So you're actually going to be able to get both textures.
So the apple will get sweeter as it's roasting with the onions and the celeriac, and softer, and then you're going to have that little pop of the acid, basically.
Exactly.
From the onions, so.
And then a little bit of lemon juice for this is going to be perfect because we know that these tend to oxidize as soon as we cut them.
And the lemon juice will also add that little bit of pop. You don't need much.
Yeah.
This is like a tablespoon or 2.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And we'll hold that aside.
Just to keep those from browning. Yep, and we're just going to hold this aside.
So what I would do with what's in the oven, 20 minutes, check it, give it a shake, give it a stir, then 10-minute increments from there. It just depends on the volume that you're actually cooking.
Right. Exactly. Okay, so when your celeriac and your onion is golden and tender, we're going to remove from the oven.
Would you like it?
Yes. We're going to scoop this into a bowl.
And I think we're going to reuse that bowl right there.
That works.
Put that right there. I'm going to use this. So this is what it looks like, just to give a better idea.
That is
It
gorgeous.
did get golden on the edges, the apple got golden, and the onions got caramelized. So it's a very soft preparation, which is another reason that we're adding that raw apple
Right.
in there, just so it has that little crunch factor.
You're getting all the different textures together, which is nice.
So here we go.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
All right. So we have already seasoned this with salt and pepper, so we'll probably taste this before we add anything more because this is just so darn good all by itself. We're gonna add our crunchy apples. You wanna do your fancy tossing again?
There we go. Fancy tossing.
Here we go. Toss it well. Nice. You can easily do this
With spoons.
with spoons.
So that's what that looks like.
That looks nice.
So we have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so
Now, what we like to do with it is serve it on
some greens.
some greens.
You can add a little more olive oil to that if need be, but this actually looks perfect.
I think that's enough.
I think so
that's
too.
enough. So I'm gonna add
Beautiful greens.
a bit of greens. Something else to keep in mind is when you're roasting this vegetable or any vegetable, you can add different seasonings to it.
Right.
It doesn't have to be kept at salt and pepper like we did here, but the celeriac and the apples, it just has such a delicate flavor. I honestly like just doing salt, pepper, olive oil.
Yes,
And you've got the lemon juice in there, and I think that just makes it sing on its own, really.
it really does. And as so many of you have told us, when you are eating Farmer Dave vegetables, they taste so good. You really don't need anything. So just adding these very few ingredients is
How
really just
pretty.
enhancing. That looks beautiful.
How pretty. And then,
Gorgeous.
great on its own,
Yes.
great as a side dish. You can add a protein. We have some hard-boiled eggs that we made.
But you could easily do sliced chicken, you could do a little sprinkle of bacon, white beans, and we were thinking too this would be gorgeous as a bed for a beautiful piece of fish. That's gorgeous.
I mean, that's just beautiful. All the colors.
That's really beautiful.
And everything. So you could also substitute the roast with some different vegetables if you'd like. So go through your stash, go through what you have. If you have radishes, this would be delicious because the radishes will give that little pop or that little bite. Sweet potatoes would be beautiful. Regular potatoes would be beautiful. I mean, really, add anything, use up your stuff,
Sure.
dice it small, and it's a perfect topper for greens.
It is. That's a great way to do this. So hopefully you got some ideas about that one.
I think so
That's
too. It's
good.
really yummy.
Okay.
And now we're on to the second recipe, celeriac and carrot fries. I don't know about you, but I think anytime you can put a vegetable into a fry shape, and even though it's oven fried, it's still a fry shape.
Sure is.
Kids will be more apt to try them. Plus they get all toasty and caramely and stuff like that, so it's really good. You're gonna preheat your oven to 425 degrees and line a sheet tray with parchment. Peel and cut the celeriac into a medium steak fry shape. I have some cut in planks here. You're gonna go down, and this is what I mean by a medium steak fry.
Right.
You don't want to go too thin because it's more apt to burn, but you want to go thin enough so that it cooks all the way
Sure.
through.
Too thin, it might fall apart,
Right.
and you're not getting that.
So
good
actually, I think we're going to
consistency.
use this
Okay.
so you can actually see.
And you've
what
got
they wind
them
up looking like that.
approximately the same size too, so that they cook evenly.
So they cook evenly.
Yeah.
Now when you go to do your carrots, you're going to do the same thing. You want to
Okay.
cut them approximately the same size. Now it's really going to be dependent on your carrot size too.
Right.
So sometimes you might have to throw in a whole carrot if they're on the small side.
That makes sense. Okay, so next we're going to toss in a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of pepper.
Right here. So we have some already cut.
Excellent. So olive oil.
A bit of olive oil.
Okay, we're gonna do a little salt and pepper. Again, this just needs a little tiny bit to really enhance the existing delicious flavor. We are going
This right
to
here.
spread this onto our baking sheet.
Would you like me to do my fancy flip though?
Could you please, because I do enjoy it.
I've been
so.
practicing this.
Oh, she's got it. I think this bigger bowl.
The key is the bigger bowl with the
Bigger
higher
bowl.
sides, so you can do the little flip. You don't honestly have to do this at home. I just think it's fun. Just
Two
use
spoons works.
2 spoons,
1 spoon, a spatula, whatever you
spatula
have.
or one of the grabber thingies.
Sure.
It's fine.
Whatever
So-
gets the job done.
You just want to make sure that they're all coated evenly because
Perfect.
that's what's going to help with the caramelization. So on here,
We're gonna get these all evenly spaced out,
single layer.
single layer, so that they cook evenly.
Now, if you do a big batch of these and it's a lot for that one pan, do a second pan, please. Because if you put the vegetables too close together, even though it's at a high heat and you're trying to roast them and caramelize them, they're going to steam
Instead,
and you're not going to get those roasty, toasty edges that we all like.
Duly
So
noted.
just do it on a second sheet.
okay. So we're gonna get these into the oven. And you wanna check on these in about 20 minutes or so. Give them a bit of a shake and a flip.
Shake and a flip,
Shake and a
shake and a
flip.
shimmy.
See where they're at, and then after that point, check about every 10 minutes. You will know if your oven is a quick cooker, a slower cooker, so you know. So give it about every 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
And the veggies should be ready between 30 and 40 minutes.
All depends on the size,
Yes.
so just keep checking.
Right.
So should I grab them?
I think you should grab them.
Okay. So these edges
These look good.
look really, really good. And may I have that bowl? Because I'm going to
Yes,
scoop them back
you
in the
may.
bowl. Might as well use it. It just has all of a little
It
salt and
does
pepper in it.
exactly what we just coated the others in. So you guys can see the beautiful golden edges on this.
Now, you can play with seasonings all you like with these. The carrots can really hold up to some different seasonings, chili powder, cumin, things like that. When they're mixed with the celeriac, though, I really love the sweetness of the carrots and then that celery flavor. It's delicate, it's nice. I don't like to mess with it too much. I just like to enhance it somewhat. So one of my favorite seasonings I actually put together here, and it's fresh thyme that I chopped up with sea salt and then added black pepper. So it's all chopped really finely. Now, by adding this, as soon as these come out of the oven, because they're hot, put that right in.
Oh, these are good.
And you should smell this right away because the heat and the herbs, and again, the toss.
The tossing. So we're essentially heat activating the herbs, Stacey. Is that what's happening
Kind
here?
of, sorta, yeah. Heat activating the herbs. So we'll have this,
Oh, these are good.
and did I get
And
them
you
all?
were
Got them
saying
all?
that maybe even rosemary, a small amount of rosemary would be really nice.
I
if
love
that's a flavor that
rosemary
you like.
with the carrots, but rosemary, whether dried or fresh, has a tendency of overpowering, so you do want to use on the smaller side for the
Yes.
amount with that. So are we going in?
Yep, I'm getting a celeriac.
I'm getting a little of both.
They smell so good.
Okay, you know what? I'm cutting this because I'm going to have this dangling out of my mouth on the video.
They're so good.
That's like a blooper right there.
I'd laugh.
I know you'd laugh.
It's so good.
Okay, you know what? We need to try the other roasted one too.
Okay.
So this one is the one we did earlier. It's the celeriac, apple, onion on the bed of greens.
So you have cooked apple, celeriac, find a little onion, and then one of the raw apples with a little green. Here we go. They're so good.
Get out of town, that's good.
I'm out. I'm out of town, Steve.
All right, definitely 2 recipes. Please try them. 2 different ways to use the celeriac.
Delicious. Have fun.